All right, let's dive into something truly compelling this week. We've been looking through a fascinating stack of astrological forecasts and analyses for the week of June 23rd to 29th, 2025.
hmm
And what's intriguing is that the collective wisdom, the stuff we've reviewed, is consistently calling this potentially the luckiest, maybe even the most transformative week of the entire year.
It's pretty remarkable
Yeah.
consensus on that.
Yeah. So our mission today is really to unpack that, to uncover the most important takeaways from these predictions, giving you those surprising nuggets of cosmic wisdom to help you navigate this really powerful period.
That's right. And if we connect this to the broader cosmic weather report, I mean, the patterns we're seeing indicate a truly significant shift.
A shift? How so?
Well, many individuals, ourselves included probably, have been grappling with a rather, let's say, stormy and undeniably challenging period. It feels like it's been building since late 2024.
Oh, definitely. January through April felt intense. Mid-June, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It intensified particularly then, and even mid-June felt quite, intense for many. But the information we're looking at suggests that this week marks a powerful turning point.
Okay.
It's broadly described as a much-needed period of calm, like a real chance to breathe deeply, and an opportunity to experience a profound surge in optimism and, open doors to new opportunities.
Oh, okay.
It really feels like the universe is finally taking a deep cleansing breath.
So after what sounds like a tumultuous journey, we're finally reaching maybe a calmer harbor. It's like the universe is recalibrating, handing us a new compass, perhaps even, I don't know, a treasure map.
That's a great way to put it.
Let's start by pinpointing the major cosmic landmarks on this map, then. Many analyses point to the Sun and Jupiter coming together in the deeply nurturing sign of Cancer. This isn't just any alignment, is it?
No, not at all.
It's flagged as rare and highly significant. What makes this particular celestial embrace so special, especially right now?
Well, what's truly fascinating here is how Jupiter, which we know is the great benefic, the planet of expansion and good fortune, it's amplifying its energy within Cancer.
Right.
And Cancer, for those familiar with its symbolism, represents our emotional core, our home, family, roots, our sense of security.
Okay.
So when Jupiter aligns with the Sun here, it's not just about external growth. It's about expansion that feels deeply personal, emotionally resonant.
I see.
The wisdom gleaned from these forecasts highlights that this particular conjunction, it last occurred in Cancer about 12 years ago.
Wow, 12 years.
Yeah. That rarity really underscores its significance, making it a truly special window for luck, profound personal growth, and expanding our sense of belonging and inner fulfillment. It's an opportunity to plant seeds not just for success, but for deeply rooted well-being.
Okay, that sounds huge.
And adding to this powerful current, there's a new moon arriving on June 25th, precisely at 4 degrees Cancer.
Ah, the new moon.
Right. And for those newer to astrological timing, a new moon is always about a blank slate, a moment for fresh intentions and new beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
But here, it's powerfully supported by Jupiter, which basically means it's less about just a small fresh start and more like a grand opening in areas tied to our deepest emotional needs, our home life, our sense of security.
So supercharged new beginnings.
Exactly. Imagine planting a potent seed that's immediately doused with growth elixir. And the ripple effects of this new moon aren't fleeting. Analyses suggest they'll resonate for approximately 15 to 20 days, maybe even up to a full month, continuing to unfold its themes.
That sounds incredibly potent, like an almost unchecked wave of positivity. But are there any cosmic checks and balances to this expansive energy? Does the wisdom suggest any need for caution? Or is it truly a free-for-all of good fortune?
That's a really insightful question. And it brings us to a crucial nuance often highlighted in these forecasts.
Yeah.
This isn't about uncontrolled, kind of reckless expansion. The analyses emphasize that this powerful growth potential is beautifully balanced by Saturn's influence. Saturn brings the energy of responsibility, structure.
Ah, Saturn.
Right. Yeah.
Grounding it.
Precisely. So progress this week isn't just given. It requires conscious effort and grounded action. It's about temkinli, that Turkish word meaning cautious or prudent growth, not reckless abandon.
I like that, temkinly growth.
Yeah, this cosmic balance implies a strong focus on, say, long-term agreements, stability, and building on solid, well-thought-out foundations. Think of it like Jupiter offering you this massive, exciting opportunity. But Saturn reminding you to, check the building codes first, make sure it's solid.
That cautious growth framework is
Yes.
really helpful. Okay, now shifting gears a bit. What does this all mean for how we communicate this week? Because that's always such a crucial piece of our daily puzzle, isn't it?
Hmm.
The shift to Mercury, the planet of communication, into the dramatic sign of Leo on June 26th is quite notable. Partly because it's going to stay there for an unusually long time, right? All the way until September 2nd, due to a retrograde later.
That's right, it's a long visit.
So what kind of communication currents should we expect with Mercury hanging out in Leo for so long?
Indeed. Mercury in Leo brings a distinctly dual nature to our communication. On one hand, imagine stepping onto a stage. Your words will likely have more charisma, a natural authority that can genuinely attract positive attention.
Okay, good for presentations then.
Fantastic period for making presentations, yeah.
Yeah.
Or taking on leadership roles in discussions, or even just confidently stating your needs and desires. Your ability to express yourself with passion, with conviction, it'll be heightened.
But there's a but.
There is. However, and this is where the shadow side often appears, it's also easy to get caught up in the spotlight. The forecasts warn of potential ego battles, a tendency to dig your heels in with stubbornness, and yes, a definite flair for the dramatic in conversations.
Drama.
Think of it as that powerful spotlight. It can illuminate your brilliance or, well, highlight every flaw if you're not careful with it.
That's a powerful image, the spotlight. It sounds like a time for both confident expression and, potential theatrical clashes. But it gets even more intense towards the end of the week, doesn't it? There's the Mercury-Pluto opposition on June 29th.
It absolutely does intensify.
What does an opposition signify here, and how might that actually show up in our interactions?
Okay, so the Mercury-Pluto opposition on June 29th is, as you said, a really critical aspect. In astrology, an opposition signifies this push and pull, right? It brings awareness of polarities and often creates tension that demands some kind of resolution.
Right.
Here, it's between Mercury's communication and Pluto's intense power, hidden truths, transformative force. This can indeed lead to some challenging dynamics. Suppressed anger might erupt unexpectedly. Yeah. Obsessive thoughts or even paranoia could surface, and power struggles in communication become quite prominent. The collective analysis suggests this dynamic might echo events or unresolved issues from back in late April, maybe early May.
Interesting connection.
Yeah, potentially bringing important confrontations or even showdowns that have been sort of brewing beneath the surface. The strong warning, really across the board, is to be exceptionally mindful of your words,
How so?
because they can truly cut like a knife during this period, capable of both piercing truth, which can be good, but also causing really deep wounds.
Got it. Words as weapons.
Precisely. And it's vital to add a health note here, directly from the sources we've reviewed.
Okay, what's the health heads up?
For sensitive individuals, this period, particularly around that Mercury-Pluto opposition, carries a specific warning. Pay close attention to minor accidents, things related to clumsiness or sudden movements, and be mindful of potential migraines and blood pressure issues spiking. Some forecasts also highlight the possibility of throat problems, so taking care of your vocal cords, maybe ensuring clear communication, is advised on multiple levels.
That's a potent warning for both our words and our well-being. Okay, so we've unpacked these powerful central planetary themes, the grand conjunction, the new moon, these complex communication currents. But like any complex symphony, there are always subtle supporting notes playing in the background, right? Shaping the overall cosmic mood.
Absolutely.
What are some of those underlying energies we should be aware of this week, even if they're not hitting us directly personally?
Indeed. While those are the headline acts, a few underlying energies continue to shape the broader collective experience. Mars, for instance, continues its journey through methodical Virgo,
Okay.
which lends this persistent energy to our daily lives. It supports a focus on creating new order, efficiently fixing deficiencies, paying meticulous attention to details. So it's actually a good backdrop for practical tasks, getting things organized.
Useful energy, then.
Definitely. Then on June 23rd, we have the Sun-Neptune square. Neptune often dissolves boundaries, right?
Yeah.
And an aspect to the Sun, our conscious self, it can indeed blur the line between our waking dreams and tangible reality.
Dreams and reality blurring.
Yeah. While this can inspire creativity and maybe spiritual insights, the analyses caution that this dreamy influence can also lead to misjudgment or susceptibility to illusion, especially where hard facts are needed, like in financial markets, think oil, gold, cryptocurrencies.
So proceed with caution there.
It's a call to use your intuition, yes, but also to maintain grounded discernment. Finally, a Mars-Chiron parallel on June 25th is noted by some sources, indicating a potential for conflict or even, unfortunately, armed actions in the collective sphere or perhaps damage to land.
Okay, that sounds more collective, less personal.
Exactly. It's important to remember these aren't personal influences directly for you, most likely, but rather part of the broader collective energy at play this week, a larger backdrop to our personal experiences.
Got it. So, given all these powerful energies, the expansive potential balanced by caution, the intense communication currents, and these underlying collective shifts, what stands out for you personally? It's crucial to remember that while these are universal energies, the guidance we've looked at offers incredibly specific insights for each zodiac sign, showcasing how these energies might manifest in your unique life path. Let's explore how these cosmic currents might directly impact your specific experiences.
Yeah, let's really individualize this. For instance, if you're an Aries, this week looks like prime time for home, family, and all real estate matter.
Oh, interesting for Aries.
Yeah, significant opportunities for maybe a new home acquisition, a big move, or even marriage proposals blossoming from that deeper sense of belonging. Career-wise, you're expected to feel very vibrant, and there's genuine potential to creatively turn hobbies into a business.
Nice. Any warnings for Aries?
Yes, be cautious of potential ruptures with friends or maybe unexpected small accidents around the home, little things.
Okay. And what about Taurus with all this Cancer energy?
For Taurus, it looks like a fantastic week for communication and learning. You might find yourself enrolling in new courses, having significant conversations, maybe even signing important contracts.
Productive then.
Very. There's a strong focus on finding joy in daily routines too, perhaps discovering new passions through creative endeavors. However, sources advise you to be wary of overthinking and potential anxieties, maybe linked to financial stability.
Gotcha. What about Gemini?
If you're a Gemini, the message is pretty clear.
Yeah.
You should find money.
Find money. Okay.
Forecasters describe this as a very lucky period financially. Potential for increased income, maybe unexpected bonuses, clever investments, or even leveraging a hidden talent. Great time for financial strategy.
Sounds good. Downside.
But Gemini should also be aware of information that might shake their beliefs about family or their personal foundations. And a strong underlying need for personal freedom might clash with existing commitments.
Okay. A bit of tension there. Now, for Cancer, you mentioned honey cake earlier.
Yes. For Cancer, this week is indeed described like that sweet, abundant, deeply satisfying. With the new moon and Sun-Jupiter in your sign, expect new beginnings, especially in career-related matters.
Career boost for Cancer.
Definitely. Bringing many opportunities for personal and professional redefinition. It's about planting seeds for a new personal identity or career path that genuinely nourishes your soul, not just, the bank account.
Lovely. Any cautions?
Yes. Analyses caution about a tendency for overindulgence, not just with food, but maybe comfort-seeking that might keep you from embracing truly expansive new beginnings. And yeah, potential weight gain is mentioned.
Ah, okay. Good to know. Leo.
Leo, you'll likely be feeling a strong urge for introspection, maybe dealing with hidden matters. This week brings opportunities for profound psychological insights, spiritual growth, clearing out old emotional baggage. Powerful time for healing.
Inner work.
Exactly. However, be mindful of potential miscommunications or misunderstandings within your social circles, and maybe a tendency for self-deception when it comes to your own motivations.
Okay.
If you're a Virgo, your social life is highlighted this week. Excellent time for networking, joining new groups or communities, focusing on long-term goals and wishes. Opportunities could pop up through friends or unexpected connections.
Good for connections. Warnings.
Just be careful not to overcommit yourself or perhaps become too critical of others in your immediate environment.
Right. Libra.
For Libra, this period shines a spotlight right on your career and public image. You could see significant professional advancements, recognition for your hard work, new leadership opportunities, time to confidently step into your power publicly.
Big career week for Libra. Cautions.
Be cautious of family disagreements or tensions related to your home environment potentially bubbling up.
Okay. And for our water signs, Scorpio.
Scorpio's advised to focus on finances, inheritance, and legal processes. Significant luck and opportunities may arise there, maybe through unexpected windfalls or favorable resolutions.
Financial luck for Scorpio. Anything else?
Also a good time for new educational pursuits and travel that expands your worldview. Just be mindful of needing to maybe clean up your social circle and potential hidden power dynamics within friendships.
Interesting. Sagittarius.
If you are a Sagittarius, This week focuses on shared resources, intimate relationships, maybe even deep psychological transformation. Opportunities for financial gains through investments or partnerships, and profound emotional breakthroughs are likely. Time for deep bonding.
Intense. Any watchouts?
Be aware of a tendency for maybe superficiality in your communications. And potential conflicts with authority figures could arise.
Okay. Capricorn?
For Capricorn, relationships are front and center. Excellent week for strengthening partnerships, business or personal. Potential for new collaborations or commitments, maybe even marriage. Opportunities for significant growth come through others.
Relationship focus. Cautions.
Sources warn of potential health issues, perhaps related to stress or overwork, and a need to manage your personal boundaries carefully. Don't let others drain you.
Good advice. Aquarius.
Aquarius is highlighted as excellent for finding a job, starting a business, achieving career-related goals. Specific opportunities for teen growth and enhancing your daily routines and well-being. Time to optimize your life.
Sounds very positive. But
Be warned, the forecast suggests a week potentially full of clashes in relationships. Every tiny detail might get scrutinized, potentially leading to suppressed anger outbursts if things aren't addressed consciously.
ooh, tricky balance there. Finally, Pisces.
Finally, for Pisces, looks like a very good week for love life and children. Potential for talent monetization, starting your own creative business. Analyses highlighted as truly your summertime for joyful expression, embracing pleasure.
Lovely. Financial side.
That's the caution. You're advised to exercise financial caution, urging you to avoid overly large or speculative investments. Stick to what feels secure. Also, be wary of arguments and disputes in relationships, particularly if they stem from unexpressed needs or fantasies.
Wow, that's incredibly specific guidance for everyone. Thank you. If we connect all this back to the bigger picture, drawing from the breadth of these forecasts, what are some universal takeaway, like cautions that apply to absolutely everyone, regardless of their sign?
Yeah, what common threads should we all keep in mind?
Exactly.
That's an important question because common threads of wisdom definitely emerge. Across all the forecasts, several recurring warnings stand out as pretty universal. Firstly, avoid pride and ego, especially when you're feeling extra lucky or confident.
Stay humble.
Exactly. The energies support growth, success, sure, but not arrogance. Humility serves you better. Secondly, be extremely mindful of your words. We talked about Mercury.
Right, the words like knives spit.
Yeah, avoid harshness, arrogance, or making big promises you can't realistically keep. Words can have lasting impacts, for better or worse. Thirdly, manage financial risks wisely. Opportunities abound, yes, but it's not a time for uncontrolled spending, reckless gambling, or guaranteeing others' debts. Maintain a cautious, long-term perspective. Fourth, pay close attention to your physical health.
The health warnings.
Various sources indicate sensitivities, stomach, migraines, blood pressure, joints. Listen intently to your body, prioritize self-care. Fifth, be aware of potential power struggles or manipulative behaviors that might surface in relationships.
How to handle those.
Aim for clear, honest communication to diffuse them before they escalate. Lastly, try hard to avoid getting lost in unnecessary worries or obsessions, especially towards the end of the week. Emotional sensitivity will be high.
So, grounded optimism.
That's the key. Grounded optimism, not fearful rumination.
This deep dive into the upcoming week truly reveals a period of, well, significant potential, immense growth, and profound new beginnings. It's undeniably a moment to consciously embrace the possibilities to step into those open doors.
However, it's equally a time that calls for conscious awareness, thoughtful and clear communication, and truly grounded action. Which brings us, I think, to an important question to reflect upon as you move into this powerful week.
What's that?
What hidden potentials within you will you choose to bring into the light this week? And, crucially, how will you ensure that your newfound strength and optimism translate into truly grounded and sustainable growth?